night comes alive. Maxspeedtv, where the races thrive. Tires burn, a crowd leans in. This is where the action begins. Wheels spin, sparks ignite. Under the lights is a fierce fight. Chats alive like a racing heart. Here's a place where legends start. Oh, Maxspeedtv, full throttle run. Broadcast and great chat, second to none. League action racing under the sun. Maxspeedtv, where the fun's never done. Thank you, Chevyland.com. Now hurry, get you one, son. Tell Maxspeedtv sent you. Engines roar, the night comes alive. Maxspeedtv, where the races thrive. Tires burn, a crowd leans in. This is where the action begins. Wheels spin, sparks ignite. Under the lights is a fierce fight. Chats alive like a racing heart. Here's a place where legends start. Oh, Maxspeedtv, full throttle run. Broadcasting great chat, second to none. League action racing under the sun. Maxspeedtv, where the fun's never done. Thank you, Chevyland.com. Now hurry, get you one, son. Tell Maxspeedtv sent you. Engines roar, the night comes alive. Maxspeedtv, where the races thrive. Tires burn, a crowd leans in. This is where the action begins. Wheels spin, sparks ignite. Under the lights is a fierce fight. Chats alive like a racing heart. Here's a place where legends start. Oh, Maxspeedtv, full throttle run. Broadcasting great chat, second to none. League action racing under the sun. Maxspeedtv, where the fun's never done. Thank you, Chevyland.com. Now hurry, get you.
Shopping for a new Chevy? Chevyland stands apart from the competition. Explore over 12 acres and more than 260 vehicles with truckloads of savings, like $10,000 off select new 2026 Silverado 1500s, 1.9% financing on Blazer and Silverado, plus the Chevyland Advantage, 12 months complimentary maintenance. That's peace of mind, only at Chevyland. And that's why we're #1 in North Louisiana. Come see the difference for yourself at Chevyland, your Silverado headquarters.
Welcome, ladies and gentlemen. Tonight, round number 1 of the top 8 for the OP Super Speedway Unlimited Series, the Xfinity cars here at Talladega. Presented to you all by Maxspeedtv. I do already see we have Sarah out there, Everett, Brendan, already in chat here tonight, ready to rock and roll, and well, I'm ready as well. Before we get to who is in the top 8, of course, y'all already know who it is up here in the booth. Myself, Joshua Medlock. Hopefully, everybody out there is having a good Saturday, and hopefully getting ready, for some racing out here tonight. I know coming up this weekend and for the next few days, possible severe storms, so everybody, of course, stay safe and heed all, watches and warnings that may do come out. But we're going to dive down into it here tonight, starting, of course, with our pre-race analytics like we always do. We have an air temp of 78, doing a little bit of some wind out there, too, but it doesn't look like it's too bad, between 5 and 10 miles an hour. Right now we're sitting at about 8 as Anthony English just took a hit there by Mark Mann, and then Mark took a hit as well here in practice. But this is practice, so hopefully they get all of it out of their system. Track temp only 89 degrees, 94 laps out here. Remember, no stages, so it's straight up 94 laps, 250 miles, unlimited tires. Fuel, well, that's 41%. So somewhere in the ballpark of about 13 to 18 laps, we'll see these guys either getting ready to pit or starting to pit, somewhere between that lap 13 and beyond mark. Probably more than likely going to see them, I would say, around the 15, 16. That's when we'll see probably most of them come down. But we might see it a little bit earlier, depending on how much fuel they do burn up throughout each and every lap. If they burn up more, they'll have to pit sooner. They save some, they can stay out, a couple more laps. We'll just have to wait and see. Pit road here at Talladega, 55 miles an hour with a pace speed of 70. Now, who is in the top 8? Well, the points reset after last week, and well, here they are. Adam Kilday, Anthony English, Mark Mann, Travis Elliott, Nicholas Wing, James Mayer, Jerry Bergeron, and Harold Rothery. And one of the drivers that I am not seeing, hopefully he does make it in, is James Mayer. I do see the other 7 out here on the racetrack. James, at the moment, is not. If he doesn't make it in tonight, then he'll definitely have to do something next week at the, I believe we are at the 08 of Daytona. I will not be here. Steven hopefully will be here to cover that race. I will actually be out of town. So, but we'll get more on that here later. We'll definitely try to make sure we have that broadcasted and make sure everybody can get out here and, and watch it. But, they still have racing they have to do out here tonight. Like I said, points reset. So everybody of the top 8 is on an even playing field. So, now it's going to come down, okay, can one of these chase drivers get the win out of the way here tonight to lock themselves into the round of 4? Or is it going to take both races and they're going to have to get in on points? Well, it all starts tonight. Right now, Chris Ramsey up at the top spot here in practice. Brian Lashbrook, second in practice. Anthony English in third. Of course, coming down to the final 3.5 minutes left here in practice. We're going to go ahead and step aside, play the national anthem here tonight, folks. So hang tight. Qualifying will be underway when we come back.
Oh, say
Can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fights, oh, the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rocket trembled, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, traitors that star-spangled banner, yeah, wave for the land under the free, and the home of the brave. Because we are the brave. Yes, we are the brave. We'll fight you in the name of the brave. We are the US of A. For those unaware, that flag is still there. It's our future to save. This land of the brave, the US of A. Oh, traitors that star-spangled banner, yeah, wave for the land of the free, and the
This is Rio of Madison Rising, and you're watching Maxspeedtv.
Alrighty, folks, qualifying just getting underway. So now we're going to start waiting on these times. They only get one lap to, of course, put in the quickest time they can. Anthony English, Rick Sanchez, Gene Watkinson, Brian Lashbrook, Harold Rothery, Bubba Winningham, Nicholas Don Francisco, Andy Brigante, Jeff Crosby Sr., Dave Hunt, Travis Elliott, Dana Shepard, Jerry Bergeron, Alex Green, and Adam Kilday all out on the track. Nick Wing at the exit of pit road. It looks like he will be coming out. Should be a good race, we hope. It is going to get a little crazy, though. We all know that. We know how these races are, especially coming down to the final, few races. Now, they only have 2 rounds in the top 8, so drivers are definitely going to be a little more hungrier than early on, of course, in the season and, of course, in the playoffs. Chase driver wins it, then that'll lock them into the round of 4. Non-chase driver wins it, then, well, then we'll have to figure out what happens in the second race, won't we? All right, well, let's see here. Time's rolling in now. The 85 of Adam Kilday up at the top spot. Oh, there goes Andy Brigante in that top position. Adam Kilday now back to second. Times are starting to peak in here. Anthony English going into 4th. Adam Kilday is in 2nd. Rick Sanchez in 3rd. Travis Elliott in 4th. Or in 5th, excuse me. Chris Ramsey out on the track here. Andrew Schroeder will be finishing up his lap this time by. And with this lap through the tri-oval, 53.548. That is going to put him in 9th. Christopher Jordan. Nick Wing going into 14th, coming down to the final minute and a half. 53.553 for Jordan. He's going to go up into 10th. But right now, Andy Brigante holding strong. Hunter Reynolds going up into 3rd as we was just looking at that. Ron Walters into 17th. James Wagner. Shane Wilden. And Scott Warren taking over the top spot. What a lap by Scott. I do not see Scott in Discord. Am I missing something here? Let me relook just in case, but if I do not see him, then we will not be able to interview him. And I do not see him, folks. So it looks like we will not be able to get Scott Warren up here. But we will go ahead and get him on the grid here tonight. So our starting grid here this evening, of course, Scott Warren grabbing the pole with a 53.429. What a lap by Scott. It's going to start him up front here on the outside. It's going to be Andy Brigante in 2nd. Adam Kilday 3rd. Hunter Reynolds 4th. Rick Sanchez 5th. Anthony English in 6th. Travis Elliott 7th. Bubba Winningham in 8th. Alex Green 9th. And Dave Hunt 10th. Andrew Schroeder in 11th. Christopher Jordan 12th. James Wagner 13th. Nicholas Don Francisco in 14th. Brian Lashbrook in 15th. I know Brian's got a huge fan out there in chat here tonight. Chris Ramsey in 16th. Harold Rothery 17th. Dana Shepard in 18th. Nick Wing 19th. And Ron Walters in 20th. Gene Watkinson 21st. Jerry Bergeron 22nd. Jeff Crosby Sr. 23rd. Of the qualifiers, Rick Seabrands, he's not going to qualify. He's going to line up in 24th. Zonto Andrew in 25th. Jason Kinzer 26th. Shane Wilden 27th. Mark Mann 28th. And Robert Thorend is going to round out our 29 car field here tonight at Talladega. Wow. So, rolling off here. Daniel Parent out there in chat. Looks like we've got about 12 of you out there right now. Only 2 likes. Hit that like button out here tonight, folks. This race could go one of 2 ways. As we all know, it either go really, really good and a few yellows, or it can go really, really bad with a lot of yellows. There's only 2 ways it can happen. Hopefully we have a really, really, really solid race out here tonight. These guys are definitely going to put on a show, though, no doubt about it. Got your pick thrown out there. I know Sarah's already rooting on the 042 of Brian Lashbrook. Well, all right, here we go. Now that pace car will dive off to the safety of pit road. They have to go through the tri-oval, start-finish line at the exit of a pit road. So it is not at the center of the tri-oval like it is at Daytona. But you see the big field down there coming to the line. Here we go, folks. Buckle up, get ready. We are about to go racing here tonight. Green is out. Here we go, folks. Boogity, boogity, boogity. Round number 1 of the top 8 underway here tonight. River Whisper out there rooting on, see, I don't know if there's any Australians out here or not. Good question. All right, looks like I got some feedback going. Let me turn my headset down just a little bit. All right, well, we did 1 lap already. Andy Brigante did lead the first lap here tonight as I was finagling with my volume. Hunter Reynolds is in second. Scott Warren fell back into about that 3rd, 4th place spot on the bottom. All right, still just kind of working on these laps. Hunter Reynolds going to lead that lap here tonight. So 1 lap down for Hunter. Andy Brigante, Anthony English, Scott Warren, Bubba Winningham, Adam Kilday, Dave Hunt, Rick Sanchez. Let me go ahead and get that ticker playoff up here. Maybe it will show. No, it is not showing. That. All right. Well, I guess we'll just have to wait here, but everybody that knows that's in the chase, I'll see by their names. So, Travis Elliott, Andrew Schroeder, everybody kind of hanging about. A lot of side by side going on. Brian up to 14th. Chris Ramsey up to 15th. Christopher Jordan back in 16th. We are going to have some 3 wide out here. No doubt about it, as we see the 928 of James Wagner rolling up to the outside here. 78 of Christopher Jordan right behind him. They are making that outside line, or trying to make that outside line work. That is definitely loud and blowing out my eardrums. I do apologize. So still watching the 3 wide back here. The 06 of Zonto also, well, he was on that outside line. Decided to stay in the middle here. Rolling behind the 43 of Dana Shepard. Mark Mann at the tail end. Mark won't stay back there, but that's where he's at right at the moment. Rick Seabrands, Robert Thorenz. A lot of movement, though, happening out here on the racetrack. Lap number 6 here, folks, as Hunter takes another lap. Hunter using the really that far outside line. Anthony English kind of just following him. Here comes Bubba Winningham as well. Making a good run early on. Started 8th, running up here in 3rd. Right behind Anthony. Dave Hunt started 10th. He is up 5 spots. Now 4th as he battles the 13 of Andy Brigante, who is going to fall back. We're going to have 3 wide again. That is the, well, it's 17 on the car, but I believe it is supposed to be the 924, yeah, of Don Francisco. Now, the more fuel they burn off, the looser these cars get. And we are definitely seeing that already. Oh, got some bumping and almost 4 wide. They might have been 4 wide right there with Dave Hunt on that far outside line. If they, oh no! Don Francisco down on the apron, and we have a yellow as Robert Thorenz going to get caught up into this as well. Looks like right there as Don Francisco was coming back up. Ended up getting involved, but we'll roll it back here and find out what happened here to Don Francisco. And it looks like Don was coming down, and he was not clear of the 042 of Brian Lashbrook. And as, like I said, as Nicholas comes back up, well, that number 30 was right there, and that is where the 30 of Thorenz gets involved in that. So, you know, that could have been a whole lot worse than what it was if, you know, Brian Lashbrook would, you know, ended up losing it and, you know, it caught, you know, more drivers. But for all intents and purposes, it looked like only really 2 cars were really involved in that, Robert Thorens and Don Francisco. I do expect these guys to possibly come down pit road here. Probably not, Everett. Yeah, it's a hiccup with the number, Sarah. Sometimes if they have a custom number on their car and they don't change it, then that it's a hiccup. So that's where we're getting, you know, 924 and 17, but we know the 17 is the 924. So that's kind of the way it works. Lap 9 here. I expect these guys to come down. I don't expect really anybody to stay out unless they want to lead a lap, but looks like for the most part everybody's going to come down and check it up going down on pit road here. So yeah, everybody coming down pit road, no surprise. So let's see here. That's the entrance here. Let's check on pit road here, and we'll back the camera off here, and then we'll turn it. See the green cones right there. We'll see here who comes off first. And it looks like it is going to be, well, I thought Andy Brigante had it, and it looks like he did have it. So Andy Brigante is going to be off first, followed by Travis Elliott. Rick Sanchez looks like is having to fall back here. He is going to come out, it looks like 7th. All right, so Andy Brigante, Travis Elliott, Scott Warren, Anthony English, Hunter Reynolds, Adam Kilday, Rick Sanchez, Andrew Schroeder, Bubba Winningham, Dave Hunt, Chris Ramsey, Christopher Jordan, Alex Green. It looks like Rick is having to fall back here. Did he get a black flag? If he did, I don't see it. He might have. He is falling toward the back, so he more than likely had a black flag. Right, Sarah? Yeah, Reynolds wrap, Hunter Reynolds. You got Hunter Reynolds and Jimmy Reynolds. Now, the Hunter Reynolds is the son of the two. Jimmy is Hunter's dad. So I'm sure you've probably seen both of them a time or two on Maxspeedtv. But yeah, Hunter Reynolds usually always runs the Reynolds wrap paint. So the lights are off of the pace car. So it'll be Brigante, Elliott, Warren, English, and Reynolds, our top 5. And Rick Sanchez did have to go all the way back to 27th. Takes quite a long time to get around the track here at Talladega under yellow. It's not as bad as Racing Super Speedway, though, I will tell you that. But still, nevertheless, it does take a bit. All right, coming to the restart. Here to be lap number 12. Still a lot of laps to go. Lot of laps to go. All right, here we go. Pace car is down to the safety of a pit road, if you want to call it safe. Well, that's 76 or 076 of Scott Warren. He's ready to go. He's trying to give that 13 a little shove here, but you got to go on green at all times. There's the green. Boy, that 076 really wanted to go, but you cannot jump it. Good start there by the 13. I'm going to take almost a full lap or so, maybe a half a lap, to get back up to full speed. Travis Elliott now running the outside line. Anthony English behind him. Oh, getting a little wiggly back here around Brian. Looked like Alex Green might have got a little bit loose, and then that upset Brian, but everybody's okay. We barely caught it, but I did see it. And it looks like Travis Elliott is going to edge out the 13 there for that lap. Now we're going to watch Andy on the bottom here. I do want to go ahead and check on everybody else after that round of pit stops there under yellow. Want to have some movers coming up here. Chris Ramsey. Now Harold Rothery started 17th. He is in that 10th position. Day behind, James Wagner. Shane Wilden started 27th, running in 13th. Now Ron Walter started 20th and 15th-ish. Alex Green kind of back a little bit further than where he probably wants to be. But with it being early, no harm, no foul. Brian Lashbrook does have Rick Seabrands on his tail. Rick started in 24th. That is not a bad driver to have behind you either, or in front of you if you want to follow somebody. But Rick, really solid driver out there, and not afraid to push somebody either if he has to. So I've known Rick for a long time, like I've known a lot of these drivers out here. As they came out of 4, boy, they got really close here. Travis still leading the way. 3 wide back here. Harold Rothery, Bubba Winningham, Andrew Schroeder leading the 3 wide group. All is right in the world again. I honestly wish they would have retired the number 3 and never brought it back, but that is just my honest opinion. This is where it gets a little scary. Is 3 wide into the corners, and whoa! Harold Rothery, boy, good save, bud, but that was close. And you almost not only upset your day, but several other drivers. Good save, bud. Man. 3 wide about 5 rows deep here. No surprise that they're going 3 wide. Now, I hope for their sake we do not have a bad hiccup up here, because if we do, it's not going to be pretty. Harold Rothery coming from 17th up to the front with Adam Kilday on the outside. Who is going to lead this lap? Is it going to be the 18, the 85? Yeah, it looks like it. Whoa, no! Here we go! We're wrecking, folks! We are wrecking, and right now, no yellow. No yellow. So we stay green, and we keep on going. So we really can't go back and look at it. I mean, I can give it a shot here if we make sure we don't have anything bad. But so real quickly on a Maxspeedtv reel, oh, it looks like a bad push for the 13. That's what it looked like. But we can't really stay on the replay. That's just real quickly what it looked like. That definitely could have been a big one, Sarah. No doubt about it. That definitely could have been bad. Several drivers falling off the pace here. Harold Rothery with that one. Scott Warren, Dave Hunt, Gene Watkinson, Andy Brigante, Jason Kinzer, Ron Walters, kind of all mired back here, kind of together in a way. Harold by himself, though, as well as Sky. But up front, that's still where you've got the battles going on. Everybody else, for the most part, single file. So I think at the moment, if anything was to happen, it'd happen up here because of how close these guys are racing. Don't get me wrong, it could happen still yet with the guys that are single file back there. But 9 times out of 10, you see a wreck. It happens when they're side by side like this. So that's why we're going to stay up front here for now. Well, I guess that's the perks of being Richard's grandson, is you can drive whatever you want and get away with it. All right, Travis Elliott, James Wagner, Anthony English, Brian Lashbrook. That's the top 4. Hunter Reynolds in 5th, Adam Kilday 6th, Rick Seabrand 7th, Alex Green in 8th, Nick Wing 9th, Bubba Winningham 10th, Schroeder 11th, and Shane Wilden. That is our top 12 right here together. Then you get back here, Chris Ramsey leading this group with Jerry Bergeron, Nicholas Don Francisco, Robert Lorenz, and Rick Sanchez. Then another group led by Dana Shepard, Mark Mann, Christopher Jordan, Andrew Zonto, Jeff Crosby Sr. Then Ron Walters leading this group back here with Jason Kinzer, Andy Brigante, Gene Wilkinson, and Dave Hunt. Both of these guys are coming up to the back end of them. And then Scott Warren and Harold Rothery is kind of by themselves. But we are in that window. We're getting close to the window for our first round of potential green flag pit stops here. And they have been out here about 11, 12 laps. That window will open at about here, the lap 13 mark. So window will open For fuel, I do imagine, though, most of these drivers will stay out for as long as they can. But when we see a group of them come down, we will know it is that time. Belva out there in chat. All right, 17 of you right now tuning in here tonight on Maxspeedtv, but we only have 4 likes. Smash the like button, folks, if y'all would. I know we probably have more than one person watching on each of the streams, so that doesn't really coincide with the like counter. We probably would have more if everybody would go onto YouTube and hit it, but I do appreciate everybody tuning in regardless of where you're tuning in from. And I know that all these guys out here racing do as well. So on the back stretch here at Talladega, Travis Elliott leading the way, James Wagner, Anthony English, Adam Kilday, Hunter Reynolds, Brian fell back to 6th, Alex Green 7th, Rick Seabrands, Bubba Winningham, Dick Wing, Schroeder, and Wilden rounding out the 12-car field up front here. We are just kind of waiting here to see when these guys dive down pit road. The front 12 are not, nor are them. Boy, I can't English. So it doesn't look like anybody's coming down yet. No surprise. As Everett says, lick the like button. Oh, Belva just woke up. Oh, we have a yellow. Woo! Oh, Dave, a Hunt. Dave Hunt and the 111. That would be Gene Watkinson. Oh. Well, this is definitely going to change a few things up here. Let's see what happened to Dave. Looks like Dave is on the... Oh, it looks like Gene might have come up. Then initial was net code. So right there is where it started. And I think the 111 of Gene... Yeah, definitely come up, and then netcode initiated it, and then unfortunately with the high rate of speed they were going, there was really nothing that could be done. 53 just went around here, and really nothing Dave could have done. Yeah, I could blame that one on netcode if you wanted to, because that's where it started, but Gene did definitely make a move up to the top, and Dave was just the innocent bystander there. It looked like he did keep it off the wall, so no harm, no foul. But this really helped out Scott Warren and Harold Rothery here. Everybody still on the lead lap. Everybody coming down pit road here again. 111 did push up a little bit there, Everett. You are correct. So, off of pit road first is going to be Nick Wing, but Nick did not stop, nor did Christopher Jordan. So, of the drivers that did pit, or was able to get into their pit box, Travis Elliott will be the first one off of pit road. Anthony English Hunter Reynolds, James Wagner, Brian Lashbrook, Bubba Whittingham. I do expect Nick Wing as well as Christopher Jordan to come back down at some point. Before we get back going here, it'll be probably lap 28 when we go back green. That's what I'm thinking anyway. All right, well, it looks like everybody did make it back out safely. Now, Robert Thurenz, unfortunately, did have to use his one and only fast repair early here tonight, but, you know, for the most part, he's hanging on strong, currently running in 20th here. And, yeah, Nick Wing, Christopher Jordan is coming down, so no surprise. So that'll put Travis Elliott, Anthony English, Hunter Reynolds, James Wagner, Brian Lashbrook, Bubba Whittingham, Alex Green, and Nicholas Don Francisco, and Chris Ramsey and Shane Wilden. That'll be our top 10 in ATVO. Oh, there it is right there. Got to move that over a little bit. The lights are off. OP Super Speedway Unlimited Series. This is the O'Reilly's Xfinity cars. So the B car. Everybody knows them probably as the Xfinity car. This is the top 8, round number 1 of 2. A Talladega here tonight. Next week, the 08 Bumpy Daytona. Bumped Toda, Everett. As my brother calls it, bumpy bobblehead Daytona, because, you know, you're just a bobblehead going around that track. I mean, he's not wrong. Definitely not wrong when it comes to it. All right. Pace car pulling off down to the safety of pit road. Travis Elliott, Anthony English, Travis on the top side. As chosen the outside line. Here we go. Green is back out, and we are back underway here at Dega. And a good start there by Travis. He's going to drop it in front of Anthony, it looks like. That's going to leave James Wagner to drop it in behind Hunter Reynolds. As they're going to go side by side back here, Brian Lashbrook, Bubba Whittingham, Nicholas Don Francisco, Shane Wilden. These guys going to have to get up to speed. Couple of drivers, though, dropping it down to the bottom. Bubba Whittingham being one of them. Looks like the 042 already down on the bottom. We are seeing it. Looks like Nicholas Don Francisco dropping it down to the, looks like, for the most part, everybody just going to the bottom here. No surprise. Going to try to Looks like wind down some of these laps here. We're going to go 3 wide. Well, I thought we were going to go 3 wide. Robert Thorant, Harold Rothery, Nicholas Wing in the mix here. Andy Bergante, Dave Hunt, Scott Warren. Back here running at about 18th, roughly 17th. Oh no! 21 into the wall, straightening it up. Nope. There's the yellow. And as we get a Maxspeedtv rewind of this, what in the world happened to the 21 here of Wing? Was it a bad push, or did the 18 of a Harold Rothery just get loose? Well, I want to rewind it a little bit further here, and I want to get on to Harold first. Try to figure out what happened to Harold here. So, looks like Harold's running the outside. He drops it down. And I thought, so there was no contact there between the 21 and the 18. Well, let's get back here to Nick Wing. We're going to see Nick Wing coming up on them. The 13 is on the outside. That is Andy Bergante. And it looks like Nick Wing goes up top, and right there it was, the 13. They was not clear whatsoever, and well, that spun the 21, and Dave Hunt also going to get a little piece, it looks like, of the 13 as well. Well, back under yellow here. And they were only out there, though, a handful of laps, about 5 laps. So, well, let's go ahead and, I guess, pull up our first interview here tonight with maybe... Well, let me see if I can find somebody. Looks like we're going to pull up Chris Ramsey, but he is on pit road, so we are going to wait a minute. We're going to let him pit and then come back out, and then we will grab the 937. I do not like disturbing them when they're coming down pit road, because if they get a black flag or something, then I feel like it's my fault. So I do not want to disturb them. They are definitely going to have to be careful, though, coming off of pit road. And there he is right there, Chris Ramsey coming back out. So let's go ahead and get the 937 up here real quick and talk to him. Chris Ramsey, Joshua Medlock in the booth. Buddy, got a copy?
Yeah, man, I got you.
Hey, man, well, you know, a couple of yellows out here tonight, buddy. Man, you're running strong. You know, kind of running right now, top 10, running in 9th at the moment. Man, talk about it. What's going on down there? How's the car feeling? From up here, it looks a little loose. Talk about it.
I feel the car is a little bit loose, but, I mean, it feels pretty good. I feel pretty confident in any of the lines that I run in. I don't mind being bottom, middle, or high. It doesn't matter if it's me. I mean, I'm just trying to stay out of trouble right now and then just try to see what I can do later on in the race.
Okay, that sounds fair. Now, you know, I know you say you don't mind whatever line you're in. That's you know, fine with you. But, you know, what do you think maybe the preferred line tonight is, bottom, middle, or top?
I mean, obviously, I think that the top to middle is obviously going to be the preferred line toward the end of the race. It's definitely a little bit quicker. I mean, you know, I'm right now, though, I run any line. I feel pretty confident in any of them right now, as far as a safety perspective. But run line and getting for speed, I mean, obviously the top line's is faster.
All right, so safety #1 key. If you don't feel comfortable somewhere, think about something happen, maybe, you know, maybe change lines. But other than that, whatever line you're in, that's where you're going to be at.
That's it.
All right.
I'm good either line. I'm good either line I'm in.
All righty, Chris. Well, good luck down there, buddy. We got a long way to go still yet, man. Good luck.
Yeah, man. Appreciate it. Thank you.
All right. Well, that was Chris Ramsey out there. Now, they don't run any teams here on Saturday nights, but he's in the same room as Shane Wilden, Nicholas Don Francisco, James Wagner, and Brian Lashbrook. So it looks like these guys kind of running together, working together, talking together, kind of see what they can and can't do. But like I said, there's really no teams per se. No team championship. Now there may be teams, but there's no team championship. I think the biggest group we have is Team 4 here tonight. Man, there's a lot of people in that room. Oh man. Wasn't quite clear. What do you mean by that, Everett? Oh, okay. You mean by the wreck? Yeah, wasn't quite clear. All right. I thought maybe for a second you was talking about maybe I wasn't clear. And Bell was out there telling me to pick wisely, so I know what that means. Belva, you crack me up. Yeah, 21 tried to fill the hole. Yeah, he did. Yeah, wasn't quite clear in front of the 13. So yeah, and that happens. I mean, these guys are running 180, 185 miles an hour. I haven't really paid attention to the speeds, but that's what I'm assuming. And maybe even 190 roughly. I don't know exactly, but yeah, there's no reaction time. So lap 32, so it'll be lap 33. When we come to green, pace car is down to the safety of a pit road. And the green's back out. Travis Elliott on the loud pedal. A good start by Travis. Alex, it looks like maybe the top 3, 4 is going to file down. Oh! Brian Lashbrook come down. Was not clear, but everybody is still okay. Bubba Winningham is right there. Everybody's all right. Everybody's all right. No harm, no foul. But I'm sure Brian is like, that's my fault. Bubba is probably like, hey, now. It'll be all right, though. That bottom line, though, start to move and move quickly. Andrew Schroeder now trying to get around Brian here and not going to be able to do it. We'll see if Brian drops it down to the bottom. A 22 of Shane Wilden also with Brian, and it looks like both of them are going to be able to drop it in front of Andrew Schroeder. Andrew's still on the bottom. Harold Rothery, Dave Hunt on the outside, as well as the, let me see here who that is. That is the 30 coming up to the top side now. 85 of Kilday. Got a lot of moving parts, moving pieces up here. Travis Elliott, Anthony English, though, man, working close together, but that is, oh, man, a lot of rubbing. Oh, boy, if they don't knock that rubbing off, somebody is not going to be a happy camper. Oh, no, Anthony English, here we go. Big wreck. Several drivers involved in this. Harold Rothery, Anthony English, Bubba Winningham, Brian Lashbrook. It looks like we will find out what actually happened here. I do want to get up here to the 44 of Anthony English, though. If I can find his number. There he is, right there. So it looks like he is behind the 51 of Travis Elliott here. And they were doing a lot of right there it was. They were doing a lot of racing and rubbing, and you see the 042 of Lashbrook. He was coming, and I think Anthony might have thought he had the clearance there as the 042 was coming up, and definitely was not clear right there. And that is where we're going to see several drivers get into this. Bubba Winningham of the 6, Anthony English, the 042 of Brian Lashbrook. There's the 18 of Harold Rothery, the 937 of Chris Ramsey, who we actually just talked to. And y'all know how that works out when I talk to a driver. Yeah, well, it struck again here tonight. Looks like Bubba Winningham going to get hit here by somebody. I wonder who that was. That was the 76 of Scott Warren. Supposed to be 076, but who's counting? So that is where we are at the moment, and it looks like Gene Watkinson. I want to call him Wilkinson for some reason. Gene Watkinson has taken his car behind the wall. So we are under yellow again. Man, it looks like Hunter Reynolds going to bring them down pit road here. Yeah, everybody coming down. No surprise. No surprise. We were only in a handful of laps, though. But, you know, lap 36, want to keep that car as full as you possibly can. Ooh, looks like Christopher Jordan missed his box. He will have to come back down, it looks like. Dave Ahine, Andrew Schroeder. Looks like all these guys were able to pit. Well, who do we get now? Pick wisely, I was told. Pick wisely. So I feel bad for Chris Ramsey, though, because like I said, I just talked to him, and, well, he even said it himself, got to stay out of trouble, and, well, I talked to him, so that's as much trouble as I guess you can get in, and, you know, trouble happened out on the track. So, sorry, Chris. Hate it for you there, buddy. Moose Pie out there, how you doing? Yeah, Sarah, oops, he's right. I don't think really anybody's fault per se. I mean, you know, Anthony was just trying to move up, but wasn't clear because, you know, Brian was there. And, you know, it happens. Things happen. You know, Saturday series, we expect it. You know, even some of the veteran drivers out here, they make mistakes. They're not perfect. So, and I've known most of these guys for some of them longer than others, but, you know, for a very long time. You know, if, you know, Brian stays over here with these guys and races with them, you know, I will get to know him just like I know some of these guys out here on the racetrack. Looks like Jordan and Warren both have a black flag, probably coming down pit road when it was closed. But Hunter Reynolds, Travis Elliott, Alex Green, Dana Shepard, Rick Sanchez, Adam Kilday, Dave Hunt, Andrew Schroeder, Robert Thoren, Shane Wilden. That's our top 10. No, I think he did. I think he pulled a you, Belva. I think he might have just woke up. All right, well. A Ginger out there. Listening to the race in the car. I see. Well, glad you were listening and not watching. I'm glad you're able to at least, hopefully you're not driving and texting at the same time. I don't want anybody to do that. All right, pace car is down to the safety of pit road. Hunter Reynolds, Travis Elliott. That's our row number 1 up front. Here we go, coming to the green flag here. It'll be lap number 39. Green's out. Good jump, good start there by Hunter. Home now, good deal, good deal. All right. Travis Elliott dropping it right behind Hunter Reynolds. Got the side-by-side going on. Alex Green, Dana Shepard, Rick Sanchez, Dave Hunt, Adam Kilday, Andrew Schroeder coming up through here as well. And woo! Looks like Andrew's going to pull out right behind the 85. Yeah, I think they wanted to go 3 wide, but that did not happen as they are going to come around the 30 of Robert Thorenz here. "13 trying to get around on the inside. Boy, that was close. Watching the outside here. That is going to be Brian Lashbrook. And he is bringing with him the number 30 of Robert Thorenz. So watching that far outside line. This is some 3 wide. Oh, no. What happened to Brian? Okay, he's back. He blinked out there for a second. That is very dangerous. Very dangerous. Jason Kinzer pulled out, then popped right back down in front of the 43, not 13, 43 of Dana Shepard. Alex Green, yep. And he did lead that last lap, but he is up front. Now remember, chase driver wins it here tonight. That will lock them into the top 4. If a non-chase driver wins it, then, of course, next week they got one more shot at it to get a win and in situation. Oh, no, here we go, the 5. Oh, Sato, we're going to have another wreck and another yellow, but where it actually initiated and where everything started to happen was up here around the 48. Now, let me see here if I can find. Well, let me see here if I can find the 5 because that's easier to find. So now we could find either the 85 or the 48. There's the 48 right here. And it looks like the 85. Well, let's just go chase view here on the 48 of Schroeder. Looks like coming out of the corner here. Oh, right there, the 85 got too far up and right into the wall. That upset the 85. 48 of Schroeder was right there and into the back of the 85. Then comes down, gets into the 5 and the 3. It looks like the 5 might have got the worst end of this here. That was Rick Sanchez as he slides off and plows it right into the wall here. And then, of course, they had that big wreck up here around Zonto, the 06. So this is where the big wreck actually happened. As we see the 5 going down, the 48 looks like the 06 was coming down. He gets clipped, and then it was just on from there. And I don't know exactly who clipped him. Let me see here. That was the 042 of Brian Lashbrook. But see, Brian just didn't have anywhere to go as Zonto was coming down. Brian was right there and then clipping the 06. That sent the 06 even further down the track. And then they, of course, come right back on at the 928. Looks like the 21. Oh, my golly. The 6 of Bubba Winningham going to plow right into them. And just carnage out on the track here, folks. Well, everybody coming back down pit road. No surprise here. Doesn't look like anybody's taking tires that I can see. Hunter Reynolds is going to come directly back out. Looks like the 78 of Christopher Jordan yet again might have missed his box. I wonder if he's doing that on purpose. Interesting. Bubba, you're right. They need to quit picking on Bubba. I agree. Brian keeps blinking in and out. Sarah, how's y'all's internet? Because he keeps going in and out. And are y'all having any bad storms up in that general direction? All right, looks like everybody made it back out here for now. The only driver that really took their car behind the wall is Gene. Looks like Bubba is on pit road here. He had already used his fast repair, and we'll get a look at that car. And looks like he is just trying to get damage fixed here, yeah. So he is going to be coming back out. He will still be on the lead lap. Not that you know of. Okay, well, like I said, he was doing some blinky here, and I was a little concerned. No, honestly, Ginger, it might make it worse. The way people speed around when they're stopped picking up kids or letting kids off. Honestly, it might make it worse. But I see your point, you know. Some of the people around here where I live, man, they just have no care whatsoever. They'll speed around buses. They'll speed through school zones. It's honestly sickening because they could seriously hurt or even kill somebody, you know. Maybe they could also, Ginger, to add to your school zone signs, maybe they could put some speed bumps, you know, on pit road, you know, that you have to go over them very carefully. Just to kind of add to that safety down pit road ordeal. Yellow blinking light. Yeah, they could add that too. That's where the school buses comes in. Lap 45. It'll be lap 46 here, folks. Pace car will dive to Ginger's favorite spot, pit road. Stop and get a ticket like a parking garage. Alrighty, here we go. Green's back out once again. Hunter Reynolds, Travis Elliott, Adam Kilday, Dave Hunt, Nicholas Don Francisco. That is the top 5 on the restart here. Well, we know when you're here, nothing happens on pit road, and then when you're not here, they have all sorts of problems on pit road. So, you know, I'm just saying. When you're here, they're very calm. It's like Don Francisco trying to make a move down here on the bottom by himself. He doesn't really have any help at the moment. As that top line really just, man, they are flying around this track. Looks like the 13. Andy Brigante got to go up the middle. Here comes the 85 of Adam Kilday up the middle. The 11 of Jason Kinzer on the bottom here. He put it in front of, let's see here, that is Brian Lashbrook. 11 and 17, which the 17 is Nicholas Don Francisco. So going to continue to watch the bottom here, but, you know, also continue to watch the top side. 928 of Jack. Oh no! Thurenz into the wall. Big wreck. Several drivers involved in this. And man, that was a hard hit by Thurenz here. Oh, geez. Was it a product of being clipped again? Somebody not clear? So here comes Robert, and right there, oh man, it looks like the 76 was on the outside here. I am trying to find. See, that is the 76, right? Yeah, 76. Yeah, right there was not clear. That was Warren coming up here, and then Thurenz just comes right up. Right there. Looks like several more drivers, though, going to get a piece of the action. Yep, they are, too. The 15 of Crosby Sr. Somehow, some way, the 4 got around that. I do not know how, but they did. He did. And Christopher Jordan squeaking through that as well. Oh, they are back down pit road, and they'll be coming off of pit road here. Looks like Travis Elliott once again coming back out first. I don't know if Travis Elliott has changed any types of tires here tonight, but we are over, of course, the halfway mark. So we'll go ahead real quick, take a look at our caution numbers here this evening. 6 cautions so far right now, totaling 14 laps. This will be 15 when they cross the line. It'll be 45 laps to go. Right now, 46 with 13 lead changes. Just a little over the halfway mark. So we still have the rest of the race to go. Definitely still can see some green flag pit stops. We definitely could see some more mayhem out on the track. I don't think anybody will come back down pit road here and top off, but we will keep an eye out. Yeah, it looks like Christopher Jordan here. Now, Christopher didn't pit, so he will have to come back down. So, yeah, here he comes. Looks like Jerry, Shane, they are down pit road. Rick Seabrands is coming down as well. So we did have Jordan, Jerry, Jeff Crosby Sr., Rick Seabrands, Shane Wilden. They all did come down, back down pit road. Rick Sanchez, Anthony English, Mark Mann also come down. So, yeah, a few drivers did come back down pit road, but for the most part, everybody else stayed out. Pace car lights are off on the back stretch, diving it down into turn number 3 here. How you doing? And here we go. Pace car down to the safety again of pit road. Been pretty safe out here tonight so far. As the green comes out, Travis on the loud pedal. And here we go, back underway. Travis, Dave, Andrew, Hunter, Harold, top 5. 44 more laps to go here. Still looking at about, well, if we can get it, at about 2 more, at about 2, guaranteed 2 green flag pit stops. We've got to get green. We got to stay green to get those green flag pit stops. And boy, that outside line, man, they are screaming. Getting really close to the outside wall too. Got to be careful. That outside wall will grab you and it will not let go. In the 85, Adam Kilday has no help. Here we go. Now he's going to have, it looks like, maybe some help, but looks like that outside line is that preferred line to be in. That bottom line just cannot get going. We are watching Hunter Reynolds here. Boy, Travis Elliott, seen that run Hunter was getting. He's like, no, that ain't happening. I'm dropping it back down right in front of you because that is not going to happen. And Travis led 23 laps right now. Hunter has led 18 here this evening. Travis has been running pretty much up toward the front. Three wide action back here around Andrew Zonto, who is on the bottom. That is the 928 of James Wagner in the mix. The 21 right behind James. Nicholas Wing. Boy, that was good save, James. That got a little scary for a second. Looks like Jerry Bergeron, though, he didn't like what he was seeing up there, and he's like, no, I'm going to back off a little bit. I'm going to ride behind Bubba right now, and I'm going to let them guys race it up there. Why not? If I was Jerry and I was in that same situation, I'd have done the same thing. I might even be back here with Alex Green or somebody, you know, a little bit further more back, you know. Not like what I'm seeing up front. I'm going way back there. Man, they are really, really close. Anthony English. Let's see if here I can find Anthony. There he is. He is on the outside, the 85-76. That's Anthony English, Adam Kilday. And the 76, which is Scott Warren. Looks like Zonto going to join him up there. Well, nope. Zonto's going to get, looks like right now, kind of left out there. Not really any help per se, but more drivers are going back out to the outside. So looks like Schroeder is going to try to make a run here on the backstretch down into 3. And Travis seen the run there that Schroeder was getting. He went back up top side. Travis kind of just making that car as wide as possible, but also trying to be as careful as he can. I don't know if Travis has got a spotter, but if he does, he's doing a very good job of it. As Travis drops it in front of Anthony English, as Anthony went to the bottom. Side by side, Anthony and Schroeder go. Boy, that was door to door there. They get a little wild and crazy up here, up in the front here, folks. Whoa, buddy. Man, oh man. Whoa! .43 of Data Shepherd is having to make that car as skiddy as possible because he's been in a couple of close calls here. 3 wide, the 928 and the 90. Harold Rothery also in the mix here. I don't. Watching that number 5 here too of Rick Sanchez trying to make a run back up toward the front here. Lap number 58 coming to the stripe. And there it is. So right now they've got, side by side single file going on up front. But back here, it is a mess. Fuel, like I said, about 13 to 18 laps. They are about 9-10 laps into this run, give or take a few with the yellows. So now they are getting close to that window, but you can add a lap or two to that if you want to. Travis Elliott, though, man, he is on rails here. Watching that. Oh, okay, who was that? That was James Wagner that was peaking, but not gonna really do anything. And Rick Seabrand's coming back from 24th into 8th. And Travis Elliott goes from, the middle of the track, possibly top side, back down to the bottom. That is the 0.76 of Scott Warren, who is the first car lap down behind Travis Elliott. Oh, Zonto went way up the track, and the 85 was right there. That was Adam Kilday. Adam did kind of clip the wall a little bit, but, everybody's all right. However, that definitely could have been a lot worse than what it was. Looks like the 53 of Dave Hunt possibly falling back maybe a little bit here. Maybe getting ready to come down pit road. Wouldn't be surprised. We're going to hit lap number 13 here for some. Lap number 12 for others. The window is technically open for fuel if you want to come down early. It would be, in my opinion, a little bit too early. But 9 locks out there here tonight, folks. 1 shy from 10. We've still got 16 of you out there tuning in. Really coming down to the final laps here tonight. About 34 laps. At the tail end of this field is going to be the 928 of James Wagner / 53 of Dave Hunt. And then Jeff Crosby Sr., Christopher Jordan kind of working back here together. Shane Wilden and Alex Green working together. The 26 drivers on the lead lap. One driver, 1 lap down. That is Scott Warren. Robert Thorenz on pit road. 13 laps down. He had already used his fast repair, and he is still on pit road, though. Adam Kilday trying to lead his first lap here tonight. Is he going to be able to do it? Because that 51 of Travis Elliott, man, he has got a fast car, and it looks like at the line, the 85 is going to take that lap away from Travis as they hit lap number 15. Remember, 13 to 18 laps. How far can they go? Woo, woo. How far can they go? You know, how low can you go? Yeah. Well, how far can they go? So, Adam Kilday, Anthony English, and now 1-2 up front. Nobody up front, though, peeling off. Everybody staying out. See what Senior and Jordan do here. It looks like they are going to go ahead and stay out. Man. They're going to stay out as long as they can. Now the 4 of Rick Seabrands immediately pulls it to the outside. It looks like he might be falling back here. Probably going to figure out a way to get down on the bottom. Oh, we got a lot of drivers trying to get on the bottom. Somebody just got pushed out here. That was Nicholas Don Francisco. He did make it back out onto the track safely this time. No harm, no foul there. Everybody comes screaming out of turn number 4. They do have, it looks like, oh, somebody is smoking, and we have a wreck. Big wreck. Yellow's out. And right here, it looks like the 11. I am going to get off that camera angle because I do not like it. It looks like the 11 of Jason Kinzer. This is where it is going to take shape here. 21, that is wing. Looks like right there. Ooh, did the 76 possibly come up too? So the 76 was on the bottom. Comes up right there, and then right in, and then the 21 right into the 11. Oh, interesting. All right, I want to rewind that a little bit further here. See if maybe, so I'm glad I did that, because right here is actually started in front of them. So it actually started right here with the 76 and the 18. Right there is where the initial bump was. And that's where it all started, right there. And then the 76 coming back up. All right, now we understand what happened and why the 76 was on the apron there. So it looks like the 18 did get a black flag for that, but get back up here, and that is, like I said, that is where it all happened and where it took place. As we get back here on the 11. If I can find the 11. Oh, yeah, several more drivers out. 17, that is, of course, Nicholas Don Francisco. He got into the 11 right there. That's where his engine popped. Man. All right. Well, man, now we're getting ready for pit stops, and everybody did come down. Well, that did help out Scott Warren. He is going to be ahead here of the leaders, and he will get his lap back. He did not pit. I'm wondering if he's going to go ahead and come down, or if he's just going to stay out, get going, and then come down. Man, going to be interesting to see what happens. Andy Brigante, Anthony English, Data Shepard, Rick Sanchez, Nick Wing, Travis Elliott, Ron Walters, Adam Kilday, Mark Mann, Brian Lashbrook. That's our top 10. I knew Mark Mann wouldn't stay back in the back very long. He started 28th, folks. Yep, and look where he's at now. Running in 9th. And, you know, Brian Lashbrook has got some drivers around him that, if I'm Brian, I would definitely go where they go. Mark Mann being one of them, Adam Kilday, Hunter Reynolds as well. Hunter is right now behind him. But I would, wherever they go, I would, if I'm Brian, I would definitely follow when we go green. If you've got a chance, of course, you know, get up there and, you know, race with them, because they're probably going to get up toward the front at some point. So, Brian, if you're listening, Sarah, if you're listening, just a thought. That's no secret if you've raced around drivers long enough, is you'll learn real quickly on who to follow, or, you know, who to try to get ahead of to push you. and those guys that I just named off are one of them. So here we go. Andy Brigante, Anthony English, row 1, row 2, Rick Sanchez, Nick Wing, row 3, Travis Elliott, Adam Kilday, row 4, Dana Shepard, or Adam Kilday, one of the two, and Ron Walters, row 5, Brian Lashbrook, and Mark Mann. Yeah, it's still going to be one more stop regardless, you know, so... Here we go, pace car down to the safety of pit road. It'll be Andy Brigante getting us going here once the green flag drops. Here we go, green's out. Oh, not the start Andy wanted. Anthony English, Nick Wing got a good start on the outside. But, man, Sanchez all over the back end of the 13 here, trying to give him a quick shove. But I think that outside line, once it starts forming up, we're going to start making a run. Right now, though, that inside really working out. Ooh, somebody pulling down here. That is Nicholas Don Francisco. He is going to come back up onto the track safely, back toward the back. And as we're seeing here, whoa. There's a little squirrely up front. Somebody's peeking onto the outside here. That is Hunter Reynolds. Trying to make a run by himself. He needs some help, though. I don't know if you can do it by yourself. But then again, I have been proven wrong before, so we'll see what happens here. Coming to lap number 70, this coming up time by the OP Super Speedway Unlimited Series Top 8, round 1 of 2 tonight, Talladega. Presented by Maxspeedtv. Next week, 08 of Daytona. I'm going to send everything over that for Steven. Hopefully he will be able to make it next week. I will be out of town. And I will not be back until Sunday. So hopefully we'll have that for y'all. I'll even have it already up on YouTube for Steven. So he'll be ready to rock and roll for that one. He won't have to do much. So yeah, one more stop guaranteed, no doubt about it. They will have to pit. Question is, when will they pit? Who will pit, when, and where? I think at this point, though, I think you just got to go as far as you can. Don't run out of fuel, but, you know, go as far as you can. Rick Sanchez up at the front here. He's led a lap already. He is looking to lead another lap here, and he will do just that right in the middle of the 3 wide behind him. And Rick's going to drop it in front of Anthony English here on the bottom. You got Nick Wing on the top side. Far outside line with a 51 of Travis Elliott. Travis trying to make another run back up toward the front. Oh, no! Here we go! Here we go! Big Red, another one. Yep. Oh, no! Another wreck here, folks. And it looks like, oh, man. It looks like it might have been maybe a bad push by the 48. Or something of that nature. I am not blaming the 48. I am just saying from that angle it looked like a bad push. I am trying to find Andrew, though. There he is. All right, so let's get on Andrew here. We'll kind of turn it to the side because I wonder if maybe they were pushing going on here. Oh, yeah, that's what it was. So, okay, so yeah, 48 did give the 53 a push. And then right there was a push from the 53 to the 13. And yeah, it was just kind of on from there. That's really where it all happened at. It happened very quickly. It happened so quick, it really was hard to see. The 1353 got down into the 042. And yeah, it was just kind of on from there. There's where the 13, the 04, I think even Travis Elliott might have got a piece of that as well. Right here. 51, yeah, right there with the 13. Oh, then the 15, got to get a piece of that. The 06 of Zonto. So there was several drivers that were actually involved in this, or got some piece of it anyway. Man. Well, all right. Well, we are back up front. It looks like Scott Warren and Robert Thorenz. Robert taking his car behind the wall. He's done. Looks like Scott Warren has taken his car behind the wall. He is done for the evening. Now, this is definitely going to be close on fuel, but I do not think they can make it. Lap 74, the completion of 74 to 75 will be 20 to go. I do not think they can go 20 laps. Now, of course, if we do get a yellow between that, then they come down pit road. You know, I think if we get, you know, 3 or 4 laps in and then have a yellow, then they pit, I think they'll be good there. But, you know, if we go green and have a quick yellow, I I still think it's going to be really close on fuel here. Well, what do you think, Everett? Sanchez, yeah, Sanchez got through it. He's up front. A whole lot of drivers have used their fast repair, and then there's a handful of drivers that still have it. So, you know, if they need it, you know, they can use it. Hopefully, you know, no more need to use their fast repair, but, you know, if they do, well, it's there. Yeah, it looks like, man, it looks like Rick's trying to save as much fuel as he can, trying to make that car, yeah, as flat as possible, as well as Anthony as well onto the apron here. Adam Kilday, Brian Lashbrook, Nick Wing, that's rounding out the top 5. Travis Elliott, Jerry Bergeron, Dana Shepard, Alex Green, Harold Rothery, that's your top 10. Zonto, Don Francisco, Ramsey, Mann, Walters, that's the top 15. Man, this is gonna... It'll be 20 to go when we get back green, folks. I don't think they can save enough fuel to make it. I think you're gonna have to pit at some point. Now, we did have some drivers come down. Christopher Jordan, Rick Seabrand, Shane Wilden, Andrew Schroeder, Jeff Crosby Sr., and Hunter Reynolds. They did come back down. I don't know if they'll have enough fuel, but, you know, trying to keep as much fuel in there as possible. You'll put a nickel? You might not be too far off from it, Ginger. There's still a lot of drivers, 26 drivers on the racetrack, and all 26 are on the lead lap. So not too far-fetched from potentially having, you know, another yellow before they, you know, have to potentially pit under green. So I won't take your nickel, but uh-oh. There we go. That was weird. Here we go again. All right, well, we are coming back to green here, folks. Not sure what happened there, but had a big hiccup with the internet. Here we go. Green's back out. Sanchez back on the loud pedal. I'm not entirely sure why it keeps doing that, but it happened. It did that on Thursday night as well. As we see the 51 there of Travis Elliott dropping it down to the bottom. That is kind of leaving some drivers out there, I wouldn't say by themselves, but looks like Brian Lashbrook is leading that outside group with the 43 of Dana Shepard. Harold Rothery, Mark Mann, just to kind of name a few that are out there. Rick Sanchez, though, lead the race. It's 20 to go. It'll be 19 to go here at the line. Alex Green right here as well. He is going to go to the outside. That is not a bad driver right there to have in front of you either, Brian. Ooh. And, boy, man, door closed on Lashbrook. Alex Green keeps peeking, but he also could be making sure he keeps that engine cool. Also as well, there could be some guys back there trying to save fuel as well. So Who knows what's happening down there on the track? 18 to go. I don't think the top four are saving any. I think they're just going to roll with it. Maybe they're thinking the same thing you're thinking there, Ginger. Maybe there's probably going to be another yellow before pit stops. And we are going to have it, folks. There it is right there. That is the yellow. Oh, and Travis Elliott is going to be, it looks like Alex Green right here. It looks like possibly maybe a bad bump by the 042 that sent Alex up into the wall. Oh, let's see here. And I'm not picking on Brian, you know that, but I am going to look at it. We are going to get a look at it. Let's see here. So there's Alex Green. And here comes the 042. It looks like Brian is coming. And yeah, bad bump by Lashbrook there. Bumping him on the right rear, and every time that will send a vehicle up to the outside. And Harold Rothery gonna get it. Travis Elliott gonna get it. Looks like the 43 gonna get a piece of it as well. The 9. Trying to figure out who that is. The 928 gonna get a piece of that. Looks like the 937. 53, gonna get a little bit of it. Man. Well, we've seen what happened. Whoops. Wrong button. Yeah, she did, didn't she? All right. Well, I would imagine they would come down pit road. I don't think they'll stay out. This will definitely put them, I think, good to go. We're very close as Sanchez brings them all down pit road. No surprise. And everybody coming down. I mean, everybody down pit road, folks. Looks like Harold Rothery has taken his car behind the wall, folks. Man. Now, Harold did not have a fast repair left. Oh, tough break. Man. Well, Rick Sanchez, Christopher Jordan, Adam Kilday, Anthony English, Nick Wing, Brian Lashbrook, Andy Bergante, Jerry, Rick, Hunter. That is our top 10. I think they're going to be good to go here on fuel. What do you think, folks? You can't even buy a piece of bubble gum for 10 cents now, unfortunately. Talon don't race on Saturdays, Belva. He only races on Thursdays. Lights should go off here. And if they do, it'll be 14 to go when we go green. It'll be 15 to go this time by. Yeah, lights are off. All right, so I think they're going to be good on fuel here. Now the question is, we're going to have some more yellows. Are we going to be able to go the distance? And we're going to finish it under regulation. We're going to have to, use a couple of GWCs. I mean, that's the question for all you fans out there. I don't really know how to answer it, but we got 12 likes out there, 17 watching. Thank you, everybody, for hitting the like button and tuning in out here tonight. We do appreciate it. So it'll be Sanchez here. Once we get green, he'll be getting us going. Adam Kilday is going to be to his outside here. Now, double or nothing. Next caution creates a GWC. Oh my gosh. So we're going to go up until about 3 or 4 to go, and then we'll have a yellow. That's what you're saying. All right. We'll see what happens. Pace cars down to the safety of pit road. That's Ginger's favorite place to be, because we have not had any hiccups tonight on pit road here since Ginger's been here, which is a good thing. I love it when Ginger's here. Green flag is back out. Here we go. She keeps pit road pretty clean. Wax on, wax off type of ordeal. Several drivers though up here, not a chase driver, but still nevertheless they are wanting to grab the victory. Now Adam Kilday, Nick Wing, 2 of the chase drivers up front, 1-2. As they, of course, come around the 5. We are watching the 13 of Andy Brigante, Anthony English, Rick Seabranch, Brian Lashbrook, Zonto, Jerry Schroeder, and, well, really everybody out here all the way back to Jason Kinzer at the tail end of the field, because, even though he is back at the tail end, he can definitely win it if everybody ahead of him wrecks after the white flag. And I have seen it. I have seen that happen. So a lot can happen in 14 laps. You got that right. I always say, and I quote, and I'm sure everybody's heard it before, but I'll say it. If it can happen, it will happen. And, a lot can happen, like you said, in 13 laps now, but it'll be 12 here at the stripe. Adam Kilday on point. But I would not count out anybody at all. Zonto was peeking out there, but he dropped it right back in front of the 4, Brick Seabrand. And there goes Zonto back to the outside. He is going to try to make a run on Lashbrook here, as well as Brigante. That outside line starting to move. Right now, that bottom line, keeping everybody at bay. Watching that far outside line now, folks. That is Hunter Reynolds leading that outside line with Travis Elliott, Dave Hunt. It looks like Christopher Jordan trying to get in the mix here as well. $11 to go as Zonto goes up to the top side. No, Zonto, he kind of got left out there. He doesn't have any help now. 4 wide at Dega. That 4 wide lasted about 2 seconds, and that was it. Man. Ooh, something's going on with Hunt. Maybe he is not liking what's going on up front. Maybe he hears something or sees something. He decided, I'm going to just go ahead and fall back here, and we'll see what happens. Maybe trying to save as well. I don't know. I don't know what is going through his mind. I really don't. But Jerry Bergeron started 22nd, running up into 7th right now in that number 1 machine. 9 laps remade here, folks. Adam Kilday, Nick Wing, Rick Sanchez, Anthony English, Brian Lashbrook, Rick Seabrands. That's the top 6. But here he comes. Can't count him out either. Mark Man, Batimus Prime is what Steven calls him, and Anthony seen him coming. They're probably communicating as well, and they're going to be wrecking back there. Yellow is out. Dana Shepard involved in this. Oh! And I think that is actually right where it started as well. Him and the 11 possibly. Let's see here. Might have been the 11. Oh, yeah. Let's see. It looks like the 11 was coming up on him. And oh, okay. So the 11 was coming up on him. And then the 22. Okay, so the 11 was coming up very quickly, backed off. 22 gets into the back of the 11 and then shoves the 11 just right up just enough to get into the left rear of Dana Shepard. And that, of course, is where it all took place right there. Just the slightest bump. And that's all she wrote right there. And then Dana went around and right down into the 90 of Ron Walters. And, man, it was on the 22. You got to get a bigger piece of it. The 17, of course, that is Nicholas. Looks like Zonto, of course, probably maybe trying to dodge it, and he gets involved and goes hard into the outside wall. Let's get on Zonto here and see if we can look at his point of view and what happened. Yeah, he seen it. Oh, he gets hit. He dodged it, and then he got hit. And then that sent him up into the outside wall. Oh, man. Well, that yellow wasn't a GWC attempt, but nevertheless, Mike Edgerton out there, buddy. It's been a while. How you doing? Ginger. Oh, man. I appreciate it, Mike. Really do, man. I'm hanging in there. You know, doing my thing, broadcasting, DJing, and doing bounce houses. So I'm trying to juggle everything at one time. It's difficult, but we're making it work. Doing a lot of fishing. I haven't been fishing yet this season. I need to go. I live up in Arkansas, so you know I've got my lifetime license, and I could go pretty much any time I want. I just haven't gone. So Adam Kilday, Nick Wing, Rick Sanchez, Englishman, Lashbrook, Seabrands, Reynolds, Bergeron, Elliott. That'll be our top 10 here. It'll be 6 to go this time by. It'll be 5 to go when we get back green. Of course, that would be the time to talk about, of course, you know, GWC potential. All right, well, lights are off, so well, I wanna get out and do some sea fishing for sure. You know, I've never done any other type. I'll get back to you here in just a second, Mike. Pace cars down to the safety of pit road. It's gonna be 5 to go. Coming to the line when we get the green. Of course, if we get a yellow, pretty much now, really. At any point now, with 5 to go, that'll set us up potentially for a GWC attempt. So that's going to be 5 to go here, folks, tonight. Now we hit 4 to go, and we get a and we get a yellow. That'll definitely put us at a GWC attempt. But definitely a lot can change. You know, if everybody stays out and nobody pits, we'll definitely go green. But anything can happen. GWC attempt, the way that works is we'll go green under a GWC attempt. We got to make it back to the white flag. If we get to the white, then whatever happens after that happens. If we get a caution before the white flag, then, well, we'll do it again. We got 15 of them here tonight the iRacing Standard 15 GWCs. But yeah, I would love to get down there to Florida and do some fishing for sure. Be a different style of fishing. I'm used to doing catfishing up here in Arkansas. Channels, blues, and flatheads. So I want to catch me a marlin so I can say I'm officially a Florida marlin. Get a little wild and crazy, 3 wide. Oh, Brian is getting kind of sucker punched right now. Doesn't really have any help per se. He does have, that is the 937 behind him, Chris Ramsey. These guys trying to work back up to the front. Not sure what's going on, but here we go. 3 laps to go, and well, guess what? GWC attempt coming up because we just got a yellow. And right there it was. Oh, Andy Brigante, Brian Lashbrook. Don't know what happened, but we will look at it. So Andy Brigante is on the bottom. Brian Lashbrook is right there in the 042. And it looks like, from this angle, looks like the 042 did come down. And then right there, some net code kind of started that. But I think they would have definitely made contact regardless. That's from Andy's angle. Let's get on the 042 here of Brian and kind of see what happened. Yeah, Brian did come down for sure. Right there is where it started, and Andy might have came up a hair too. I don't know. Right there, it looks like Brian come down. It's so hard to see. You can definitely see Brian coming down. I do want to know one more look at the 13 here. I don't think the 13 came up any. Oh, if he did, it was slight. Right there. I don't think Andy came up any at all, but that definitely is going to put the 26 with some damage. Oh, several drivers going to get involved in this. I want to say here, we're going to get on Brian here. The 22, the 90, the 48. The number 51 of Travis Elliott having such a good run out here. He's going to get some of it. Ron Walters. Looks like the 43 of Dana Shepard. Now the question is, did Dana hit anybody? Because if he did, he will not get the lucky dog. And as he was coming up, oh, he did. He got into the back of the 17/924 of Nicholas Don Francisco. So Dana Shepard will not be the lucky dog here under this yellow. That's for all the Shepard fans out there that were probably wondering if you get any type of X, 4X, 2X, 0X, or whatever, under a yellow or whatever the case may be, you do not get the lucky dog. So he will have to figure out a way to get his lap back here. Now, he did use his fast repair. He's on pit road. Jason Kinzer will be the lucky pass here. He will get his lap back. make his way around the track. Dana did not stay clean, so he will not be able to get that lucky dog. Oh, man, tough break, man. Looks like Alex Green, Brian Lashbrook, both of them, they have taken their cars behind the wall. Neither one of them had a fast repair left, so, man. Well, this is actually going to put them in a predicament here on fuel. We'll see here if anybody dives down pit road if you stay out. It looks like nobody is coming down. Everybody going to stay out and, I guess, take a chance here. Can they go 3 laps? So GWC attempt number 1 coming up. We'll go green. We get a yellow before the white flag. We'll do it again. We get the white. Oh. Well, it's on. Whatever happens after that happens. So, I do have a couple of non-chase drivers up here running with some of the chase drivers, but they're going to try to steal the win away from the chase contenders, the top 8. Adam Kilday, Mark Mann, Anthony English, Nick Wing, Jerry Bergeron. The chase drivers inside of the top 10. Rick Sanchez. Rick Seabrands, Jeff Crosby Sr., Andrew Zonto, Chris Ramsey. Inside of the top 10, not in the top 8. So a lot can happen between now and the white flag, and of course now and then, you know, the end of the race. Pace car to the safety of pit road. Adam Kilday, Rick Sanchez. That's the top 2. Here we go. Gotta wait on the green to come out. Once they get the green, it is showtime, go time, loud pedal. Here we go. Green's out. Wow. Either that was a late green or Rick Sanchez got a good start. Everybody okay. It looks like Rick might have got just a good start. Maybe a late green as well. I don't know. They actually get it a split second before, you know, ATVO gets it. So we'll see kind of what happens here. Rick up front, English to the outside, coming down into turn number 3 here, folks. We've got to get to the white flag. Schroeder dirt tracking it, trying to save it. Here we go. Are we going to see the white flag? Got to get through the tri-oval here and then that start-finish line. We have seen Rick's before, 100 feet to the line. It doesn't look like we're going to have it now. Here we go, folks. One more time around. Here we go. So now whatever happens, happens. They wreck, we still race. Coming out of turn number 2, everybody trying to find a line. They're wrecking behind them, and they're still going. Anthony English and taking point here up front. They're still wrecking behind them. Rick Seabrands to the outside. Oh, it is going to be a drag race to the end here. Anthony English right now has the edge. Rick Sanchez pushing the daylights. Rick Seabrands onto the outside. Here we go to the line. Who is it going to be? Rick Seabrands edges out Anthony English at the line for the win here tonight. Upset City this evening. Rick Sanchez there will finish in third. I want to go back and look at the end of this race because, man, it was a close finish. 5/1000ths of a second at the line as the Yeti number 4 machine just somehow, some way comes just ahead of the 44 right there. And man, good Lord Almighty, I don't think you can get any closer than that, folks. What a race. What a finish here tonight. What a win by Rick Seabrands. Good points tonight for Anthony English, though, and Rick Sanchez, Mark Mann, and Adam Kilday. But, man, what a win by the number 4 here. It's the 85. Tags the number 4, and Zonto tagging the number 4. They're burning it up here tonight, folks. We're going to get the top 3 up here for the Maxspeedtv post-race show. But don't go anywhere. We're going to have a chit-chat with these guys. And I can barely see the number 5 here, but it's all right. We got him right here as well. So give me just a few minutes. I'll grab him, and we'll talk to him. We'll be right back. Alrighty, folks. Well, I've caught up with them. We'll go ahead and bring him up here real quick. Sanchez here tonight, finishing in third. I can barely see his car from all the smoke out there on the track here tonight. But Rick, awesome job out there here, man. You were running strong out here, pretty much all night long. You kind of started, you started up toward the front, in 5th, and, you led 14 laps overall. And, it was a crazy race overall. There was a lot of battles, 3 wide. We even had a quick 4 wide out here tonight. But there was a lot of crazy. I think the cautions out here tonight kind of played a role in the, into the fuel here, man.
Everybody was getting tired too.
Yeah, so I'm not gonna keep you any longer, buddy. Talk about the race, Talladega, round number 1 of the top 8, buddy. It was insane.
Yeah, I was just playing spoiler if I could, but helping teammates out too. I really. I was pushing hard there on Anthony at the end, trying to get him to the wind, and I was surprised that outside lane got the run they got. But yeah, it was fun. Had a blast.
They got the run right at actually, I think at a good time, because I don't think if Rick, was able to get that run that he did, I don't think, he would have been able to edge out Anthony there, honestly. That just going from what I've seen, it happened just right at the right time.
Yeah. I don't know where everybody was about there, but I know I had my bumper on Anthony, and I couldn't push any harder to wood.
You'd have ended up turning him like we seen that happen out here tonight several times. So, man, awesome job. Good points. Now, I know you're not in the chase, like you said. You're just out here playing spoiler. And we had a spoiler. It was just the other Rick that ended up winning it. So, but, you know.
Yeah, we're all in the same room.
Yeah.
So we're all laughing, having a good time doing it. So.
Well, we got one more race. Yeah, you know, next week, the 08 of Daytona. I think Steven's going to be calling that race because I'll be out of town. But, you know, it's the 08 Daytona, man. The final race of the top 8. You're going to go out there and play some spoiler again. Talk about it. Bumpy Daytona, buddy. How you feeling about it?
Yeah, it's the same. Go out there and see what we can do. If we can help somebody out or we can steal a win, we'll do it, you know.
All righty, buddy. Well, awesome job out here tonight. Third place. Good night for you, man. Final thoughts, shout-outs, thanks you want to give before you go celebrate your finish?
Shout out to OP and to Bubba and Anthony putting on the league real good. And shout out to Maxspeed and y'all over there. I always love watching the shows. And shout out to the fam out there who likes watching.
Yep. All righty, Rick. We'll go celebrate third. Get some rest, man. Hopefully y'all have a good race next Saturday, buddy. And, man, go out there and grab the win, buddy.
All right, but we'll see you next time.
See you. All right, well, that is going to bring us here to our second place finisher here tonight. Man, that was close, Anthony. Golly. I thought you had it there, really. I honestly, I did. But, you know how Rick does it. He gets the run, and, you know, he spoils the party. But, you know, just talk about it, man. It was great racing. You led 4 laps. You started in 6th, right there with Rick. You know, kind of talk about it because, you know, it was, you know, we had some cautions out here tonight. I don't know if it was just a combination of, you know, the bad bumps or how loose these cars are or whatever. But overall, there was a lot of racing going on. We did not have, you know, the green flag stops I think anybody wanted. But, you know, talk about the racing. Just, you know, how was it down there?
It was pretty wily. To come out of this with the second, with the way these cars are now and stuff, is, I'll take it. It was really close at the end. I don't know how they got that. I don't know how they got that little run at the end there, but you know, that's the crazy thing with these cars. I probably should have stayed in the second lane. That side draft is just, it's ridiculous sometimes. But yeah, overall, good night. Finished second. Good points night.
Yeah.
Be solid enough to go into next week and just try to, you know, repeat. And nobody won tonight who can clinch their way in. So
yeah,
it leaves it a little bit more open next week too. So you're actually after 4 spots next week instead of 3, you know. So makes it a little bit more easy on you, I think, to get there. But we'll see. Just gotta hope you can keep the momentum up going through the rest of the playoff run here.
Yeah, you know, you pretty much answered my next question there going into, you know, next week. You know, nobody that's in the chase, you know, the top 8 winning it out here tonight. So, you know, like you said, it opened the door. But, you know, with these cars, the way the new setup is, the draft package, all the, you know, shenanigans that they done to it, and, you know, the 08 of Daytona next week and how bumpy that track is, you know, you think it's just going to be all about survival?
Well, you've seen us. I mean, we had a bunch of incidents tonight, nonetheless, but there were still quite a few times where we were all single file and kind of just, you know, riding out certain, you know, runs in between fuel and stuff. And I think you're going to see a little bit more of that next week, especially how the tires wear there. So between the tire wear, the new tire model and everything, I think it's going to be key to keep track position, but stay in that front pack in case anything gets separated. And I think we probably will get a green runner or 2 next week. So it's, you know, hit your green flag pits and stay relevant with that front pack, and, you know,
Yeah.
do what you got to do at the end. So, but you never know. I mean, it could be another wily night like tonight was. We had a pretty big field. I think 29 cars tonight.
Yeah.
So, big field. First, you know, round of 8 playoff runs. So it was I knew there was going to be a little bit of chaos. So.
Well, we're only 2 races in this round, man. You're trying to get it all in the first race, but now we're going into the last and final race of round number 2. So, or in the top 8. So it's 4 spots still wide open. Right now it's trying to get in on points unless you can get the win next week. So a lot's at stake. It was a great race overall out here tonight. I do wish, and I'm sure you guys wish that y'all had some, green flag pit stops. But that's part of racing. Sometimes you get them, sometimes you don't. So I guess we'll have to figure it out next week, right?
Well, points are going to be tight. I mean, I think 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 of us all finished in the top 7. So,
man,
I mean, it's gonna be tight going into next week, and then you got Jim will probably be back because I think Jim's working his 4 to 12 this week. But so I think Jim will be back next week, so he'll be he'll have to win to get in.
Yeah.
Since he missed tonight and stuff, so it's gonna be. I think it's gonna be a barn burner.
yeah. There's gonna be a lot. I think gonna happen next week. I think Steven's gonna be able to do that. I'm gonna send him everything over that I have. So hopefully,
That's awesome.
Yeah.
I'll
So
send them, thank you and everything.
yeah, I'll take care of it. Don't worry about it. All right. I'll do it. So you do your thing, I'll do my thing. All right, we'll go with that.
Cool.
All righty, buddy. Well, awesome job out here tonight, man. Good points night for you. Set yourself up for a, possibly, next week. Got to have a good finish at the 08 of Daytona, Anthony. So, great race out here tonight, buddy. I know you've got a few final thought shout-outs, thanks you want to give before you go celebrate the, I was going to say the victory, but it's a victory in this case. I mean, you got second, so awesome job. I'll turn the mic back over to you, buddy.
I was just the first loser, man. What are you talking about? But yeah, anyways, big shout out to you, Maxspeedtv, Josh, you, Jeremy, Steven, everything you guys do to do what you guys do for OP always means a lot. Big shout out to the admins that do everything they do, Bubba, and all the rest of the ones that help out that make Saturday so much fun. Big shout out to 2 Ricks. The first Rick, Seabrands for winning. The second one, Rick Sanchez, for pushing the daylights out of me. He tried. that was awesome. Again, you can't get any closer than that. And it's like, I think the last few races they've been like just right at the line type races and stuff, and that's awesome. But big shout out to both of them. And the rest of the guys all on the channel. Way too many to list. Anybody that was chilling with us tonight or whatever, big shout out to all those guys. Everybody watching at home, my parents, beautiful girl Red, all the guys. Everybody that helped out doing what they do. And I'm having a brain fart on who's sponsored tonight. I'm gonna have to go look.
Yeah, because I didn't have that in front of me either. I didn't get it sent to me. So, good question.
we might not have tonight. There was a couple of them that didn't get filled. So
yeah, I know next week 418. I know next week is not sponsored according to the list. I do know that one. So, but regardless, I love doing it. So when I can, I'll be here. So yeah, so awesome job, Anthony, out here tonight on a P2, man. Go celebrate, get ready for the 08 of Daytona next week, buddy.
Sounds good. Thank you much, man.
Thank you. All right. Well, that is gonna bring us to our winner out here tonight. There he is, right there, pulling out. I don't know what he pulled out. I don't know. I don't know what to say. Man, I don't know. The only lap you led here tonight was the final lap.
Yeah, this is a very unexpected one tonight for sure. We really didn't. As soon as Anthony cleared, yeah, I thought for sure that was the race winning move. It was going to be okay, and because the highlight was just so unorganized. I haven't even seen the replay, but I could just tell by the air and the momentum, the highlight was just so unorganized and so sloppy, and then all of a sudden it just turned into like a grip or something. I don't know. It just took off there right in the tri-oval, and I thought we'd be talking to you about a second place finish tonight, but instead Hey, this is back-to-back wins for us
Yep.
too. We won the week before the long break, so we're doing a great job of playing spoiler for these playoffs.
Definitely are. And, I think between you and Anthony with the poll, and you with playing spoiler, I think I'm just going to have to create a room up here in, right underneath the broadcast channel room, and, put Anthony in the poll and then you up there in the spoiler room. That way y'all can just be up there and ready to go.
I like this tradition. We can keep this up. That sounds like a plan for me. That's a good tradition to have.
Well, talk about it. We already talked about, the one lap you led, and that was the final lap to win the race. But you started, toward the back. You didn't even qualify 24th. And, it was kind of a ride game out here tonight with, the yellows that we did have, and, no green flag pit stops. It was kind of, just, survive, and hopefully you don't get caught up into anything, really.
Yeah, we had to take evasive maneuvers a couple times through the grass and other places when people put the wrecks in front of us. So, but that was kind of the plan, especially after Daytona with this new car and this new build that we have. These cars are just so unstable and extremely unpredictable. But they was a lot better here tonight than they were at Daytona last week. So that's a positive step in the right direction. But they still get a little bit squirrely and out of shape when somebody's like on your outside or even pushing aggressive on you.
Yeah.
So, I mean, they're a handful, and our goal was we just wanted to stay out of trouble and have that quick repair in the last 20 laps of this race, because I thought we would have to use it tonight, but we sure didn't. And the lines kind of fell in our favor, and the caution kind of fell in our favor, and here we are.
Well, going to the, throughout the race out here tonight, we've seen some great pushing, and you got to be very careful pushing in these cars. But, we also seen, the pushing to where it didn't go so great out here tonight. How can you, how do you go about as a driver, judging, okay, where to push, how to push, this, that, the other, because, you make one wrong bad push, which we did see it, it's over,
Yeah, it's definitely a learning curve for everybody. Everybody's kind of learning out here too. It's definitely not like it was here a month ago. The package just completely changed. Just the way the air goes off of your car when you're in a single file versus double file, even 3 wide, is completely different at all times with the air around your spoiler and coming off your nose, and especially when you're tucked up under somebody pushing, you can get somebody pretty loose. So handling has turned into like a big deal over here. So everybody's still trying to get used to that, and that's kind of why we started in the back and wanted to miss all the wrecks and not be involved.
Well, you managed to, do just that. Of course, with having to go through the grass and everything, you always have to end up getting those X's going through the grass, but you didn't need.
I don't care.
Yeah, you don't care
Yeah, I
about
don't
that,
care. I'd rather have a clean car than a little grass on the spoiler there. I'll be okay.
Yeah, you'll be all right. That's all. But man, awesome job on, pulling out another, spoiler victory out here, man. It makes it, going into the 08 of Daytona next week for the chase drivers, it makes it even, just nail biter, because now, going into that race, they have to either get, a really good finish, or, like Anthony was saying, James or Jim, he'll have to win it to get into the Final Four. So
Jim has a very, very, very tall task ahead of him next week, but he's certainly capable of doing it. He has won plenty of times in must-win situations, but in this kind of a package here, and especially in 08, I know that's one of his favorite tracks, though, so he'll be okay there. But like you said tonight, though, like Richard and Anthony and Adam and Mark, all those guys, they we didn't wreck coming back to the checkered.
Yeah.
And everybody finished and got good points tonight. So,
yep.
Those guys just show up next week, get good points. They should be able to advance and go race for a championship over here.
Yeah, you had Anthony, Mark Mann, Adam Kilday, Nick Wing, and Jerry all in the top 10. So, those are the, just some of the chase drivers that, the top 8 that got really good points tonight going into next week. So,
in all honesty, that is a gauntlet of drivers in the playoffs. It's almost kind of a relief not being in the playoffs and having to deal with that too, because, you're going to really have to next week for those guys. They're going to have to race mistake-free, no mistakes all night, and to be in contention, because some of those guys are going to race mistake-free and lock themselves in.
Yeah, definitely. So, all right, Rick, I know it's late. I know everybody's probably tired, ready to go to bed, so I'm not going to keep you.
Not me. I'm excited, man. We're having a good time. We're going to party tonight. That was a good win for us.
That's a great win. I'm not going to keep you any longer there, buddy. Awesome win out here tonight. I know you've got some final thought shout-outs, thanks, so I'm going to turn the mic back over to you, buddy. Awesome job.
Yeah, thank you for the broadcast, all the fans at home that are tuning in on a Saturday night to watch some good racing. I hope they enjoyed that finish, that race tonight. Mark Mann, especially for that push, is sticking with me on that outside. I have to look at the replay and see how that all still panned out, man. But it felt like he did a really good job back there, staying in line and giving me just enough momentum there to get that W tonight. And OP and all the admins for the races they put on, man.
All righty, Rick. Go celebrate the victory out here tonight. I know you will, man. Steven, we'll probably see you guys next Saturday night because I'll be out of town. But go out there and play spoiler again, buddy. Get it done.
All right, we'll do. Thank you.
Thank you, Rick. All right, well, that was Rick Seabrands out here tonight grabbing the win in round number 1 of 2 of the top 8, taking the win you're in out of the equation for the Chase drivers. What a win. What a race by these guys out here tonight. Yeah, I know we had some cautions, 11 cautions for 33 laps, 22 lead changes, but, overall it was, a magnificent race out here tonight. But we're going to get down here to the official results. Here this evening, Rick Seabrands grabbing the win out here tonight. Back-to-back wins and playing spoiler for, the Chase. Good win by Rick. Good points tonight for Anthony English. They're in second. Rick Sanchez, third. Mark Mann, another good points tonight for Mark in fourth. Adam Kilday, another Chase driver in fifth. Nick Wing, another Chase driver in sixth. Jerry, another Chase driver there. He'll finish in seventh. Great points tonight for these guys. Bubba Winningham, great race. A good finish by Bubba there in eighth. Andrew Santo ninth and Ron Walters running out the top 10. Christopher Jordan 11th. Dave Hunt 12th. Travis Elliott, man, the class of the field out here tonight. And wasn't able to get it back up there here this evening. And, hey, we've got one more race, Travis, the old way to Daytona next week. I know you'll be able to, I think you'll come up with something next week. He'll finish 13th out here tonight. Andrew Schroeder there in 14th. Hunter Reynolds 15th. Jason Kinsler 16th. Shane Wilden 17th. Nicholas Don Francisco at 18th. Andy Brigante 19th. And Jeff Crosby Sr. in 20th. Chris Ramsey, I jinxed him out here tonight. I talked to him. And then, the next caution, unfortunately, he was in it. And, unfortunately, for his 21st out here this evening. James Wagner, 22nd. Dana Shepard, 23rd. Brian Lashbrook, 24th. Harold Rothery, 25th. Tough break for Harold out here tonight. He's got a lot of work cut out for him, again, going into next week, as well as, of course, James Mayer. He's got a lot of work cut out for him, too. Alex Green will finish 26th, Scott Warren 27th, Robert Threns 28th, and Gene Watkinson in 29th. But that is going to do it here tonight to get our winner, Rick Seabrands, bringing it home into victory lane here tonight. We're going to be off tomorrow night. We'll be back in action Monday night for the OP Spring Fling round and race number 2 of 8 of that race. It's already up on YouTube, so get it shared, get it out there on your social media platform, or just tell your friends and family. But that'll be at 8:45 Eastern, 7:45 Central, right here on Maxspeedtv. Off Tuesday and Wednesday. We'll be back in action Thursday night, again, for the TNT series. Don't want to miss that one. 8:45 Eastern, 7:45 Central off Friday. And then, folks, They'll be back in action Saturday for the 08 of Daytona. That'll be broadcasted right here, hopefully on Maxspeedtv by our good friend and commentator, broadcaster, Stephen Lane. I got to get everything sent over to him, but that will be hopefully right here on Maxspeedtv. I'll have it already up on YouTube for him. That way he doesn't have to worry about it, but still some action left to go, but that's going to do it here tonight, folks. Thank you all for tuning in here this evening. Until next time, stay safe again. Thank you all, and have a good night.